All right, now that we have duly all been notified that the meeting is being recorded, here we go. It is Wednesday night, and as you can see, I am back in my office, the treehouse office. I have my little lights on out in the trees since it's getting dark outside right now. And this morning I was doing a lot of things where I was just pouring into my mind and pouring into my mind because I came back and just was super tired. And so, the last 2 days I've kind of just needed some time to kind of decompress a little bit and so forth. And so I was putting some things into my mind in addition to my typical devotionals and things like that. And some of those things that I've heard this morning, I'm going to be sharing with y'all, and I want to hear from y'all as well. But we're going to start just like we always do every single week. We're going to start with the 3 to 5 things that we are grateful for in the last 24 hours. One of the things that I learned in teaching is that, especially when you're doing a parent conference, you start with the positive first. That way, if you ever have anything negative you have to say, it comes across a lot easier. So we're going to start with the positives. Let's do your gratefuls. Okay, move into your I ams. I kind of almost have made mine almost a combination of I ams and gratefuls because it says, I am grateful. I am this and I am grateful for that, XYZ. Go ahead and do your 3 to 5 I ams. You may have a whole lot more, and you can continue on with those in just a little bit. Okay. All right. So you should have your gratefuls as well, your I ams and your gratefuls. And now this is where you're going to need your second device. We're going to go in and we're going to check our rate of run. So my rate of run has changed drastically twice today. This morning I had a certain amount, and then we had a chargeback, and so my rate of run has changed again. And so I am working on those types of things. The I am that just popped in says thinking positively feels natural and normal for me. We want it to always thinking positively to do that for us, but we know that our mindset kind of gets in the way sometimes. So let's go into your cloud. Let me log in. I got home and my phone had done an update, and it made getting into the cloud different, or just getting onto Google completely different on my phone. I don't have my little, I don't know what I did, but anyway. Takes me a second to log in, no matter how many times. It's telling me I can't. Oh, well, I know what my amount was. Take the amount that you've got. Today is the 9th of the month. Tomorrow's an auto ship day. And I looked and I don't have any auto ships for tomorrow. Today's the 9th. So take the amount that you've got, divide it by 9. That smaller number you get, multiply it by how many days are in this month? 31. Okay. Okay, and I can tell you right now that this means I'm way behind the 8 ball of where I plan and want to be at this time. So you can bet, oh wait, there's not 31 days, there's 30 this month. I apologize. I was thinking we're still in May. 30 days this month. All right, so that rate of run each day, and not only checking it in the morning, sometimes you have to check it in the evenings because your amount can change by either going up or by going down. And if you're not checking what your QV is and checking that rate of run a couple of times a day, or you're not checking at what's going on in your cloud office, you're going to miss some things. And because if I had not checked today a couple of times, I would have missed some stuff that was going on, some activity. And that's also where you can see your the team things that are happening, like when you have team members that bring in a new customer or team members that bring in a new promoter. That's where it shows you those updates as well. And I realized that while I was gone this weekend, I missed one of my promoters getting a new customer order. And so I did her shout out yesterday. I was like, I'm not going to miss this and just ignore it because it's a big deal. You know, we're going to make sure we celebrate each and every little thing. And that is something to remember, is that celebrate each and everything that your promoters and your teams do in order to just keep encouraging them and so forth. All right, so I want to talk just a smidge about time, and because this kind of like hit me in the head. We always hear people talking about, you know, your income producing activities are what's going to move the needle, making sure that you're doing things that will get the needle to move. And I definitely have to make sure that I'm moving the needle, but I want to work smarter, not harder. But this morning when I was listening to this, it's Jim Rohn, and he talked about time, and he said, time is more value than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. And for some reason, that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So when we take a look at our day, whether we're awake for 15, 16 hours a day, are we using that time the wisest? That's why the leaders recommend doing the chunks of time. And I've been having to do that for myself lately. Otherwise, I will squirrel to death all around my house and have 6 projects started and have completed none of them, which is why I'm still got thank you notes and stuff here on my desk. So before I go to bed tonight, those will be finished. Time chunking is so critical and important, especially if you are working from home. When I know we still have people that are in the workforce that are still at home, they're not working in their offices. And you may find that that's been something that was a struggle. Doing the time chunks makes a huge difference. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier with an expression that my mama used to say. In trying to move the needle and making the most of your time, are you truly making the most of your time, or are you just pussyfooting around? That's what mama would say when you were just piddling around and you were finding everything else to do under the sun except the task at hand. Or you would decide, oh, I need to organize this. Oh, I need to organize this. It's kind of like if you're a scrapbooker and you buy more supplies to scrapbook with, but yet you never put the pictures in a scrapbook. This business can be kind of the same way. You can have all the different pens. You can have all the highlighters. You can have your little Post-it notes, all of those things. You can have the notebooks, but until you're doing the work and digging in and sending the messages, having all this cute stuff, it's not going to do anything. You've actually got to do the digging in. And when you're thinking, okay, well, digging in, are you sharing your story? When was the last time you shared your story out loud? Was it on a live? Was it on a video with someone else? Was it to the person at the grocery store who asked you about your sticker? And if you get flubbed up with when someone asks you what your sticker is, that's where you need to practice your little 3-second little elevator spiel. Oh my gosh, you haven't heard of Thrive? You know, whatever it is that works for you. I was actually listening to an old video with Billy Holderby today from 4 years ago, and he talked about what he does and how he approaches people. And when people ask him that is completely different than what he used to when he first got in the industry. And because he would just always, first he would just say, hey, you want to thrive with me? And that didn't really work for him very well. He, you know, so for me, when someone asked me about my sticker, I'm like, oh, this? I'm like, that helped me give up 10 Coke Zeros a day. That's my energy patch. Something along those lines. Just make sure that you've got your little elevator spiel, and you never ever know when someone may come along. I met 2 adorably sweet people in the airport last week. They now have free accounts with me. We've connected. They are in a 3-way chat group with me and Tammy. They've got their samples on the way. And then I met another girl coming on the way home, and gave her my business card and asked her if she ever, if she follows people on social media to follow me. She did. It's those types of things. And if you don't have your business cards, get them. They may not always be needed to show somebody, hey, are you tired of being tired? It can be your way of saying, hey, this is me. This is my name. Follow me. I love to meet new friends and get new friends on Facebook, Instagram, followers, whatever. But this is my name. So follow me on social media. That's another thing your business card will do for you. It's not just to entice people with the tired of being tired, even though if that's the one you've got, they're going to flip over on the back to see what it says. Okay. So that's when you're going to start seeing your website hits go. Birthday reach outs, celebratory reach outs. You can offer your birthday packages, your birthday samples, things like that. Be sure you're celebrating other people's accomplishments that you see coming through Facebook. That's where you can do some amazing custom conscious comments. Then go into Messenger and go, oh my gosh, okay, how long did you have to go to school for that? Like I saw somebody that just received their, speech pathology degree. So that's when I can go in there and go, oh my gosh, sister, I've worked with so many speech therapists and pathologists over the last, 20 some odd years in teaching. How long did you have to go to school for that now? I know back in the days, you might not have had to spend quite as many hours in school. What is it now? Something like that, and celebrate them. So not only is your time valuable and fragile, don't delay. This is the time for us to put our foot on the gas. April, I don't know if you're running for the 4K or the 12K rank advancement bonus right now that we've got going on, but this is not time to put your foot on the gas. And so print out your friends list on Facebook. And what you can do, there is a link and a special way that you can do that. And I will put that in the comments for how you can actually go onto Facebook. And good deal, April, you can do it. You can actually print out a list of your friends on Facebook. It's going to save you writing all of these names, writing those names down. You can just check off, oh, they may already be a thriver. They may already be a promoter. You can just kind of check off and make notes out to the side. Those are the folks. You can make a little core group of maybe 10 people a day. Choose 10 people. These are the 10 people that you're going to focus on. And you're going to be doing your custom conscious comments. Maybe go like the 3-2-1 remedy formula that Tammy uses. Go like 3 pictures, go comment on 2, and then go into Messenger and send them a message. Now, I was doing that last week, but I didn't do it all within the same 5 minutes, because otherwise they're going to go, she's a creep. Okay. I was spreading it out. So if you've got your list of your friends, then that's where you've got a huge chunk of people that you can focus on. And that's where you can get 10 to 15 names a day. April, that is awesome that you are finally thriving for free. Way to go, sister. That is fabulous. That is the best feeling in the world, knowing that you have helped other folks thrive. And then therefore you're reaping the benefits and the rewards by thriving for free. There is nothing better than that feeling of helping someone else. And that's why I know that we're all in here together, that we're doing this, is because we do want to help others. Okay. Now, and like I said, coming back off of this amazing trip for 2 days, I was just tired. When you get tired, do you get in your head? Do the thoughts start taking over? I know mine did. And you have to be careful what you think, because what you think will run your life. And so that's where you have to think power thoughts in the morning, power thoughts through the day, power thoughts through the evening. I mean, this morning I was kind of like, I didn't have it. It just wasn't going for me. But I listened to that one thing I was telling you about just a little bit ago with Jim Rohn in it. And then I listened to one that Maria shared with Earl Nightingale. It's a 10-minute segment of Earl Nightingale. He's got he definitely has a DJ's voice. He also reads out loud How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that is in YouTube. I will also post what it is that I listened to this morning with Earl Nightingale. There were some things in there that he said that just kicked my butt in gear. And it's 10 minutes long. Okay, well, it takes 10 minutes for my capsules to work, right? In the morning, I could be listening to that while I'm waiting for my capsules to wake me up. I could listen to that every single day. You got to have your power thoughts. You've got dreams. Do you have them on your vision board? I have people in my team, they're like, well, I know what I want, but I just don't have it on the vision board yet. It needs to be in front of you. Are you sacrificing your dreams because you get pulled in so many extraneous directions? The laundry is important. You got to do this, got to do that. Y'all, I haven't even done any of my laundry yet since getting back from that trip. None of it. I'll get to it. That's not my priority right now. My priority is helping people. Don't sacrifice what you want by letting the laundry take you over, by letting the housework take you over, because those are the biggest excuses that will pull you away from working your business. Now, that doesn't mean let your house go to pot, okay? Doesn't mean let your house go to pot. But you know what? Don't worry about cleaning it just yet. If you've got messages to send out, if you've got free accounts to set up, who gives a crap about whether your laundry is done or not? Nobody. Just have a pair of clean underwear on when you go outside. Nobody cares, okay? So zero in, time chunks, print your friends list. Your time is valuable. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. So that's why in the times that you've got, that's where you've got to get the most done. Tammy and I talk about this all the time. And I think she and I need to challenge each other to this at least twice a week. I don't know how long it's been, maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago. We were talking and she was like, oh, I just, she was having one of those days like I had this morning and yesterday where I didn't want to do anything. And I said, okay, 1 hour. Who can get the most reach outs done in 1 hour? And boom, it was game on, competition. So if you have to compete in a goofy little game like that with someone who's on your team, say, hey, 1 hour, you go, I go. Get the reach outs done, do the custom conscious comments. Let's come back in an hour and see who did the most. That'll get your butt in gear. But that's the kind of thing that even if you're not doing it with someone, staying in that kind of momentum and that kind of gear will fuel your fire. You've got 10 minutes before you have to walk out the door. Do you sit and watch TV for 10 minutes? Or do you see how many messages can I bust out in 10 minutes? How many follow-up voice clips can I send in 10 minutes? How many birthday reach outs can I send in 10 minutes? So it literally, I was talking to one of my promoters this morning. I said, sister, I said, it's a matter of whether you want to focus on 20 minutes a day. Work smarter, not harder. That's where Instagram comes in. We've talked a little bit about Instagram, and Tammy, if you want to pop in, if there's something else that you know about Instagram that I don't even know. So I know a lot of people are afraid of Instagram and they've just started joining and doing more with it here in the last 6 months to a year. I've been on Instagram for a couple of years. I'm still learning things that Instagram will do. But what I do when I'm going to make a post, whether it is to go in Facebook or to go in Instagram, if it's going to even be in my stories, I will go to Instagram first because I will create that story in Instagram. And then there's a button that says share, and it gives you the option being able to share it at the same time to your Instagram story and to your Facebook story. Okay, I've just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. The graphics are better in Instagram and your GIFs are better that you can use for your drop downs on your picture that's going to go in your story. So boom, I've just hit 2 social media platforms with 1 click. Work smarter, not harder. Then I can go into my main part of my Instagram. That's where I put in a lot of my positive quotes. That's where I'll put in pictures of, me and the babies or, whatever. That's where more pictures of the trip are going to be. I'll put them in there. And then right before after you've done your verbiage, you're doing your hashtags, whatever, there's a button at the bottom that says Facebook. And then you click over and make sure it's highlighted. Once you hit OK, it's going to share not only to your Instagram, it'll share to your Facebook setting. The only thing I have to do is I go over into Facebook land because the majority of the time it will keep it just where friends can see it. Depending on what the post is, I want the public to see it, and I will go change the privacy on it. So I have hit 2 different social media platforms in 4 different realms with a matter of 2 clicks. So I just saved myself a ton of time. So much time. Now, if you want to do a video, if you want to do a quick video and you don't want to go live, go record your video, download the IGTV app, because there's a little Instagram TV app that you can download, and you can even upload your video to your IGTV. I think I'm going to put the one in there from my walking around in my garden the other day. I'll go throw that one into IGTV. And you can even take that video and you can use OneStream and you can upload it into your Facebook, and it will make it look like you were going live. You might be sitting on the potty. Nobody knows, but you got a video going live over in your Facebook land. It looks like you're live. No, you're not. You're on the potty. That's the beauty of using some of these apps or things to your benefit. StreamYard.com. That's where you can do a dual live with someone. Makes it so much easier. OneStream is where you can upload a video into Facebook. IGTV is the app that you can go put videos in. And if you've recently joined TikTok, or if you've been a TikToker for a while, you need to be hopping on here and telling us some more stuff about TikTok. But I did learn a lot more about TikTok this weekend. I'm not as good as Tammy and Courtney, for sure. I'm a novice when it comes to TikTok. Now, am I going to spend my whole entire time on any one platform? No, I got work to do. I don't scroll. I don't scroll. I go in, I find the person's name I want to message, type it in. I'll either take a look at their pictures, go like them, whatever I need to do, go into Messenger. I don't just scroll looking for that person, because when you start scrolling, that's when you lose a ton of time. Because Tammy admitted she watches some garden chick and somebody else on YouTube, and that's like her guilty pleasure, but she doesn't do that until she gets in bed. But she's realized there's more stuff that she could be doing even than watching her little garden video person in YouTube. So making it all smarter, not harder. If you don't have a YouTube channel, whether you're uploading anything yet to YouTube or not, I highly recommend that you get a YouTube channel. Just sign up for it, whether you're going to use it yet or not. But that's where you can actually share some of the videos from Lavelle's YouTube, and you can put them into your own YouTube channel. And you can have your playlist is like, what is Thrive? That's where you can throw in those videos from YouTube. So if somebody's following you on YouTube, they're going to be clicking on these videos going, what is this stuff? Or you can title your playlist Jumpstart Your Day, whatever you want to title it. So that way, all of these different things are going to be working for you while you're doing other things. That's how I kind of look at it. Is what's going to be working for me when I'm not actually sitting there physically doing it, because I've got to do some other tasks. I can't stay on social media all day long. Tammy, is there something else with Instagram that you are thinking of? Oh, I'm not good with reels. So Tammy, if you are.
I have not made a reel, and I haven't even really made a true TikTok. Courtney is the one that needs to teach us all how to make real TikToks.
Could she please do a Zoom of
I shall ask
TikTok? Because I know that Lacey had talked about it, but I know she is busy.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
if Courtney would go live, because the one that y'all did in Cabo, I'm like, they are so good. And Arden was watching that one, and with the little blue beverages.
I was just in it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, it was funny. Arden goes, oh my gosh, that's Mom's friend. But I was cracking up. But anyway, so yes, we need to have Courtney come on and do a Zoom for us on TikTok. And if she can just even record the Zoom with just her, if she can't do it when everybody else can hop on or whatever, that would be genius. If we can get that uploaded. Does anybody, and you can write here in Messenger, Gwen, I'm not sure, you may know, or April, do you all know how to do Reels, REELS, in Instagram? Okay. All right, Tammy's going to ask Courtney to do that. That would be awesome. And I think April is messaging. Here's what's interesting is that there was a girl that I went live with 2 weeks ago, and I had to teach her how to do StreamYard. Gwen, you're still trying to figure Instagram out. Gwen, you're doing a really good job because your stories are going, your main part of your post is going. And I think you had already hopped in when I was talking about how you can click a button and it will share from your Instagram straight to your Facebook. If you weren't on there yet, then I can explain that to you. But no, Gwen, you're doing a great job with your Instagram. And April, next week, April, can you tell us what you've learned about how to do a reel? Can I give you some homework? I need you to be in charge of reels and telling us how to do that, because once you learn something and you teach it to someone else, you become more of a pro at it. Shoot, that's a trick in my teacher book. Get somebody else to learn how to do it and then teach one of the other kids, that kind of a thing. So April, I'm gonna let you teach all of us next week how to do reels. There was one more thing. Okay, where are you gonna get your name chunks from? Your friends list. Are you adding to your friends? This is what Tammy's been making us do on Sunday nights. We take a look at our friends on Facebook. How many do you have? Write it down. So let's all do that. Take a look. Oops, I got to put my cheaters on. Now I know that I have eliminated some and gained some. Okay. All right, I'm going to write down how many friends I have in Facebook right now. And then I'll go to Instagram and look at the followers and see how many people do I have that are following me. Okay, here's what's interesting is just in the last few days, I don't know if it's my posts from Puerto Vallarta. I don't know if it's the little bit more boldness that I'm putting in with my posts in Instagram and then they're being shared to Facebook. I have like 15 new people following me on Instagram. I always look to go see who these people are, and then that determines if I have to block them or not. If they're creepers, then they get blocked. If they're not, and they look like they're, pretty upstanding kind of folks, then sometimes I'll go follow them. Some days I just wait a few days. Now I'm looking at what my Facebook group number or my Facebook friends are, and I'm ending with an 87. By next week, when I come back to y'all, it's not going to just be at a 90. I'm going to have it at 100. So that means I will get at least 13 new friends between now and next week. That's my goal. I like to try to add 2 new people a day. Because the same old people are seeing your stuff in Facebook. And so you're not going to have much of a changeover of who's seeing it unless you add more people into it. And then the more people that you go do the 3, 2, 1 with, where you're, I think it's liking 3 of their pictures, commenting on 2 of their pictures, and then 1 going into one of their stories and finding a story that you can comment on. And if they don't have a story, well, then, they just don't get that commented on. But focusing on being more concentrated with maybe one person, 3, 2, 1, one person, 3, 2, 1, rather than just liking and loving everybody's stuff. Because if you just like and love, that doesn't do anything. What's going to flip your algorithm a little bit is if you'll actually do those custom conscious comments and end with a question. And preferably not a question that's just a yes, no question. I'm going to leave you with a couple of things. Paul Gravett, from the very beginning of when I joined the company, he talks about listening to or reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Norman Vincent Peale. In YouTube, Earl Nightingale reads it. He has a very distinguished 1950s voice. And some people say they can't listen to it on YouTube because they can't stand his voice. I think it kind of sounds cool. How to Win Friends and Influence People will absolutely totally change how you respond sometimes in different situations, especially if you have a customer who's like, this stuff is giving me a heartburn, whatever. It will totally change how you respond to them. When your first instinct is to take the defensive and just come lashing back, this will help you tweak how you're going to change your response to where it's more of a positive response rather than telling them to go jump in a lake. He also talks about GoPro. I'll admit, GoPro was hard for me to read. Okay, 10X rule by Grant Cardone. Whatever you're doing, do it 10 times in order to get the results that you want. You're sending one message, send 10 messages. That doesn't mean to the same person, not 10 messages to the same person, just 10 messages. If you want something bad enough, you have to 10x it. And then another book that Paul talks about, and Tammy, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Napoleon Hill's. Oh, shoot. All of a sudden the title escapes me and I have it. Hang on. I think it's in my Audible. Oh, shoot. Napoleon Hill. I'm just going to have to look up Napoleon Hill real quick, because these are a couple of books that I would hear Paul talk about all the time. You need to read these. You need to read these. And I was like, yeah, right. Blow it out your ear. Never did read them. And once I read them, I'm like, dang, I should have listened to that man. He knew what he was talking about. Oh, Napoleon Hill's book is Think and Grow Rich. You can actually get it on Audible. So if you have not listened to those two or read them, though, I really was kicking myself because I waited like 3+ years before I read them. I'm like, dang, Paul really knew what he meant. And especially about the win friends and how to win friends and influence people. I was like, I was a teacher. I already know how to do all this stuff. No, I didn't even come close to knowing what I needed to do until I listened to that book. All right, concentrated effort on your messages, concentrated effort on your follow-ups. What are you going to do for this next week between now and next Wednesday that's going to, number one, increase your friends list and your followers? What else are you going to do that's going to increase moving the needle? Your posts are great, but not everybody's going to always see your posts. You're looking for some help with, if you don't like talking to people in public or XYZ, there's a video that Billy Holderby does in YouTube, and it's from 4 years ago, or look at me, four years ago. And he talks about talking to people in public and what to do if you're afraid of talking to people in public. And he gives you some clues, and he gives you some steps, and he gives you a formula that's called FORM, FORM. And if you want to know what that stands for, you need to go watch his video. He's wearing a red shirt. Look up Billy Holderby, HOLDERBEE. And that's going to give you some clues for how to talk with people in public when they ask you about your patch. And having every little tool in your repertoire. Oh, I know. This is the last thing. This is what I heard. Was this? What I'm trying to think. I've listened to 200K documentaries and different things today. And it may have been in the one, this is in the one that I'm going to send you that Maria had posted with not Napoleon Hill, with Earl Nightingale. Okay, if you go into a downtown and you see all the buildings, more than likely, all the buildings are going to look, all the business buildings are going to look very similar, because this guy built his and his was a success. So this guy is going to build his and he wants his to be a success. So he's going to build it to look like his. Third guy builds his building. He wants it to be a success as well. So he builds it like the other two. And then pretty soon what you've got is you've got a whole town of buildings that all look alike, because everybody wants to copy the success of this first guy's building. Somewhere along the way, somebody else is going to need to think outside the box and come up with a different idea for their building, because none of these buildings stand out anymore. Okay. Now, when I listened to that this morning, here's what I took from it. You may take something completely different. We have all of the same tools. We can copy and paste. We can duplicate. We've got the funnel. You share your story. You put them in a 3-way chat group. You get them a sample pack. You help them place their order. We're doing the same things. April's doing it. Gwen's doing it. I'm doing it. Tammy's doing it. Everybody's doing the same thing. But what is it that sets you apart from those same activities? Now, I'm not saying you have to create new activities, because we're not going to recreate the wheel. But this is where you have to embrace the part that you play in this because of your uniqueness. It's each person's uniqueness is what makes the difference in the fact that we've got all the same tools. We're not going to fix anything that's not broken right here. And, oh, well, I don't like how so-and-so told me to do that. I'm going to do it different. Okay, yeah, you go ahead. Go do that. You come back in 6 months and let me know how it works. I'm sure that's what Tammy wanted to say to me whenever I didn't do chat groups for 6 months. Sandra, how's it working for you? Well, it didn't work for me. I can tell you that. Use these tools. We all have the same tools, but what makes the difference is you. That's your leg up. Gwen's not April. April's not Gwen. I'm not Gwen. Gwen's not me. Tammy's not me. I'm not Tammy. Each one of us has the uniqueness that we need in order to help our friends and our family and the people that we come across. We've all got the same level playing field with the tools. It's up to each of us and how we're going to utilize our skills and show who we are that's going to make a difference in moving the needle. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. See you next week.